This is EksAyn Anderson. Welcome to the Principal Podcast today. So today we're going to be talking about, there was a study that was done, and I don't remember where I heard this, but it was something to this effect. That they had done a study that people were trying to work out relationship problems, I believe, and they were trying to do it via text message. And guess how they fared? Well, my understanding from what I heard is that they failed quite poor. It didn't work very well. And so, it's interesting. I've also heard it said that most of what you're saying, you're not saying with your actual words, you're saying it with your body language. You're saying that, can I maintain eye contact with you? Am I confident in what I'm saying? Am I a little shy? Am I smiling and warm, or am I kind of cold? What is it that I'm saying with my body language and with what I'm saying? And so it was no surprise. And I've even heard some people say that 93% of what you're saying, you're not saying with your words, you're saying it in all those other ways, your body language, your tone of voice, your posture, all kinds of things that you're saying without your actual words. And so it was really no surprise to me that when I heard about that study about people who tried to solve relationship problems via text message, that they didn't do very well. And I think that's because, 7% is your words, and maybe 93%, if that's accurate, and I'm not sure if it is everything else. And so one of the things I just want to talk about today is, using technology to try to, work stuff out. And in my opinion, and my background is in sales, and so I'm all the time, talking to people and hopefully trying to influence them to do something that's good and right. But I've noticed that if I think it's less effective to text and try to convince somebody or work something out than it is to just meet someone in person. So if you have a scale here, let's say that this scale is less personable, and over here we may have text or email. And then over here we have an actual in-person meeting where I can see you, I can shake your hand or give you a hug. And this is in person. I think it's a good idea, if you're trying to work things out generally, if it's appropriate, okay, to work things out, try to move from this area, which would be less personable, to more personable. So I might even use the things that, I'm not anti-text or anti-technology. I think it's great. We can send texts and send emails. But I think if you have something that's really important, something you want to work out, it might be a better idea to have it be more personable. So if you have the choice between doing a text or an email versus a phone call, so here's the spectrum again. On one side, we have text and email. Maybe in the middle, we have a phone call and a Zoom call. Maybe on the other end, we have an in-person meeting. Always trying to go towards that more personable, where I can interact with you more. So I might use a text message or an email to set up a Zoom call or a phone call. I might use the phone call to set up an in-person meeting. And if you're trying to work stuff out in your family, especially things that are maybe sensitive or, a little bit, I guess sensitive is the right word. I think talking about it face-to-face probably gives you a better chance at working it out. And the reason I say that is because then you can see how people are reacting. Are they reacting warmly, or are they not reacting so warmly? Text messages are not, like I said, isn't it great? We can send text messages and they can get around the world, and we can send an email and they can go instantaneously. But when you're trying to work out things that are important, perhaps try to get it as personable as you can, and that's appropriate. Think about that. Thanks for joining in. This is a short podcast, but something to think about. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. So glad you joined. I am on a mission to help as many marriages and families and parents learn the principles and techniques that are going to help their marriages be better. And one thing I know about you, there are so many of you listening right now that have tips, that have techniques, that if you would just share them with the community, it could help. So please share them with the rest of us. Share them with me. Would love to hear them. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. let's do everything we can to help as many marriages as possible. I'm a huge believer that a wise man, Neil A. Maxwell, said, if we don't fix marriages and families, everything else we do will be like straightening deck chairs on the Titanic. I'm sure I didn't quote that right, but it was something to that effect. Let's go to the root of the problem and help marriages and families. Feel free to follow me on social media. Most importantly, learn to follow Jesus Christ, who is the principal giver. And let's share as much as we can with each other to make this a great community where we can help people. Thanks again for joining.